Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and lots of stuff on Patreon recently. As you know, we've had Sam's competition and his explanation of his incredible puzzle. We've had our November monthly reward and the explanation of that, a number of crossword solves. Might put another one up today, maybe, because I still have a few practice puzzles left, which I'm going to be doing today because the competition is tomorrow morning at 10:30 our time, and I'm going to be there. So looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll let you know tomorrow. And that's the Times Online Crossword Championship, just in case anybody hasn't been following us. And why should you have been? Now, in case you haven't been following us, you may not know the standard rules of Skyscraper Sudoku and Crop Key Sudoku. And again, why should you? Just a note to constructors, it's all very well to keep the rules short by saying standard skyscraper and standard crop key rules, for instance, apply. But we do have to explain those because we do get a lot of new viewers all the time. And they're going to want to understand the rules behind the puzzles that we're attempting to logically solve. So in crop key, let's start with that. A black dot shows a joining of two cells where one is twice the other, basically. So these two cells could be 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, or 4 and 8 in some order. A white dot shows the joining of two cells that have a difference of 1. So their consecutive numbers could be 3 and 4 or 8 and 9. That's all that applies in this. Sometimes, normally in crop key Sudokus, there's a negative constraint. So these two cells, for instance, couldn't have those relations, but that doesn't apply here. So there's only positive crop key here. Now, what's going on around the edge? Well, this is really a skyscraper Sudoku in which if you had a number 2 in this cell outside the grid, it would mean that looking in from this side and visualizing all the numbers as tower blocks of that height, how many tower blocks could you see? So for instance, if you had a block of size 1 here, i.e. a 1 in the grid, and a 9 here, then this number would be 2, because you could see that block of 1 and that block of 9, and you wouldn't see any of the smaller numbers behind the block of 9. So we've got normal Sudoku rules. These skyscraper rules do apply, but we don't know what the numbers outside the grid are. However, they have been coded, both color-coded and letter-coded. So A will always be the same outside the grid, and B will always be the same, and C, D, E, and even F. So that is what we have. This is from Wessel Strijkstra. My Dutch pronunciation always quite rightly gets lampooned, and that's my effort at Wessel's name. So thanks very much to him. He's a very good constructor. I would be looking forward to this, except a little bit of information here. I don't like skyscraper for the selfish reason that I am terrible at it. So you will probably see that as we try and unwind this today. I mean, gradually over time, I've been getting a little better, but skyscraper Sudoku has always been a bit of a hatred for me. So nonetheless, I'm going to have a go at this puzzle and we'll see how we get on. So do try it on the link below the video, and let's get cracking. Okay, the crop key clues aren't a lot of help to begin with. There's an interesting one linking one of the skyscraper clues to one of the cells. Okay. Yes. There's only going to be one 9 in each perimeter row and column. Now, a 9 is the only digit that can have a skyscraper clue of 1. And there must be one skyscraper clue of 1 in each set for the rows and the columns. So up here, there must be one clue of 1. So it could be A, F, or C. Down here, the same thing, one clue of 1, and it could still be A, F, or C. Still A, F, or C as we look along the bottom. It can't be F anymore as we look up here because there's 3 Fs, but it can still be A or C, which is annoying and probably deliberate. No, wait. Okay, if this A, or indeed this A, was a 1, then we'd have a 9 here. That's impossible for 2 reasons up here. One, because it's on a black dot and you can't have 4.5 in that cell. Knowledge bomb from Cracking the Cryptic there. And also because this can't be a 1 because that's A. So I think we know that C is 1. Not only that, we know that the digit that it's looking at, the skyscraper that it's looking straight at, is a 9. And it can't see any of the blocks behind them. Now, do we know any more than that? Okay, well, let's do a bit of Sudoku. Yeah, okay, so 9's there. There must be a 9 in one of these cells by normal Sudoku. Where can the 9 go in row 3 is the question. You've also got that 9. Now, that is going to mean that B is a 2 or 3, because the 9 is always the highest block that it's going to see, and it can only be 2 or 3 cells away here. This obviously can't be a 1 for various reasons, but it must be 2 or 3. Oh, and that's interesting, because that's a B as well. Okay, that'll probably be useful later. Now, where else can we... What about other 9s? Okay, there's a 9 in one of these two. Again, this B is 2 or 3. Well, that's beginning to look even more interesting. A 9 in one of these 3. Is that all we've got? I'm beginning to strongly suspect that B is 2. But strongly suspect is not enough, obviously. Now, D there has to be 2 or 3 as well, because that 9 is only 3. Oh, no, D here. Right, that has to be a 2. D is 2, so my strong suspicions, as with the murder case, are completely wrong. D is 2. So I'm going to fill those in. Now, how do I definitely know that? Because as you look down this column here, you first of all see whatever this is, which is a number below 9, and then you see 9, and that's 2, and there can't be any other resolution of that. So B is 3, because there's got to be a 9 in one of those 2 cells. If it was there, B would have to be 2, so it's not there. It is definitely here, and B is 3, and now we're making fabulous progress with the perimeter, at least. That's a lot of cells filled with 2s and 3s. So let's see, can we finish off the 9s? Yes, we've now done 1, 2 and 3. So A and F have to be bigger numbers than 1, 2 and 3. Therefore 9 in those columns can't possibly be in any of these cells, and the 9 in column 2 must be here. Now F can't be 1, so 9's not there. It's also not on the black dot. It's in one of these 2 cells. So this is now 9. Let's get rid of the 9's from those. And this one is 9. And this is a 3 looking at what must be a 9 in the 3rd cell. It couldn't possibly be in the 2nd. So there we go. We've got the 9's all placed just like that. It may well help to look at 8's next. But what clues do we have about 8's? Well, if we have a 2 reaching a long way to a 9, that would be helpful. We don't really. If, for instance, that was a 2, we would know that this would be 8 because it couldn't see any other blocks before the 9, but it's not. This cell has to be bigger than all these 3 because of that 2. And they're a run of 3 by the crop key rule. Don't know how to use that. That 2 and that 2, they're effectively done. I might need to start ticking off skyscraper clues that are effectively fully used, because that might begin to help. Okay, yes, I should have. The corollary is, if 1 outside the grid means it has to be met with a 9, then wherever 8 is in the perimeters, poor highlighting, wherever 8 is, it must have a 2 here. So, yeah, in this column of skyscraper clues, there is only 1 2, and that must be the 8 then. Everything else is bigger than 2 because it's not C or D, and therefore can't have an 8 immediately in front of it. Does that help at all? That can't be an 8, but 8 could be on the... Oh, look, no, F there is looking at a 9 that's 4 cells away, and F can't be 1, 2, or 3. So F is 4, and that is the number on the crop key dot. So this is a 3 or a 5. This crop key pair doesn't contain a 4. So it can only be 1 and 2 or 3 and 6. Now, how's that going to work with a 4 clue? If it was 3 and 6, that would be 5. So the 5 would then see a 6 in one of these cells. That's 2. And then either a 7 or 8 there, and then 9 there. That's actually, it would have to be an 8, given where that 8 is. But that's easily done. So that could be a 3-6 pair. Can that be a 1-2 pair? Then the first thing it will see is that, and then it needs a bigger, and then the 9. Yeah, that's all fine. Oh, okay, that didn't help resolve this clue. Now, what about these other A's and E's? They're all going to have to be bigger than 4, but they've all got vast potential to be bigger than 4. Even this one could be up to 7. So actually not that helpful with those. Ooh, what can we do? This is a bit like a THERMO from there to there, scoring 4. Up to the 9. I don't know how to use that. That's a THERMO, that's a THERMO. But that's hardly surprising, as they must end in 9. Oh, can I use this 8 thing again? So there was only 1, 2 up there. Now, there are only 2 here, so 8 must be in one of these cells. None of these are possible because of their skyscraper clues. Now, if 8 was there... that's not possible. This run would have to be 8, 7, 6, and that doesn't really matter. This would have to be smaller than 8 or 9, and this number would become a 3, because it would see that cell, and the 9. So that's not 8. So we have got another 8 placed. And I fear I will be just going at this puzzle in this way, picking off 1 digit at a time, because I'm just not able to do any better than that. Now, this run of 3, if that was 7, 6, 5, that could be 1, 2, or 2, 4, not all that helpful. These 3 are a sequence, so they're from 1, 2, 4, 8, and they don't contain 8. So it's 2, 1, 4 in some order. Now these 2 have to be connected, so they don't contain 3. 3 must be down here. They are selected from 5, 6, and 7. They must therefore include a 6 to be consecutive. This can be connected. It could be 4, 5, 6, or 7 though. Both of these are smaller than that, so it can't be 5. Oh, it could be. That could be 3. That doesn't work as an idea. No, so these do include 6, so they don't include... this can't be 3, 6 or 4, 8. So it's definitely got a 2 in it. It's either 1, 2 or 2, 4 in some order. If it was 2, 4, this would be 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'd have 3 and 1 here. That's quite possible. Now, this can't have a 2 in it. So it's either 4, 8 or 3, 6. It can't be 4, 8 actually, because 8 would be either there or there. You could never achieve the 4 total you could only achieve a maximum of 3. So that is a 3-6 pair. Now what's this? 3, 6, 2, 9 are gone. It can't involve 1, but it could either be 4, 5 or 7, 8. Okay, I don't know how to use that properly. 7 could be in those. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. That could be 3, 7. Oh, bobbins. Now this has to be at least 5. Does that allow a 6 there? Yes, something 6, 7, 8, 9. It does. Right. Now what clue should I be looking at harder at the moment? 3, 6. This could be 6 even, with 7 and 8 still to come, yeah. This is where I really struggle with these puzzles. I just don't know what I should be looking for properly here. 8, 9. That's less than that. These can't include 8, but there's still plenty of options. This can't be 7. Is that helpful? Well, these can't be 7 as well. Can that be 7? Yes. No, because that A is at least 5, so that's not 7. So 7 in the column is in one of those two. This can't even be 6, actually. I don't know if this helps much, but probably not. These increase, as do those. So wherever 8 is, it's in one of those two cells in box 1. It's the smallest possible victory. That could be 4, 8. Yes, it could just. 3, 4, 8, 9 would allow that. Now, if that was 5, you could have a 6 on there. Yeah, you can't have an 8 because you won't get enough numbers before the 9, but that is still possible to be a 5. This can still be 3, 5, 6 or 7. That's not at all helpful. Again, it's the sort of puzzle where if you can just get a few things, everything else comes quite quickly, but struggling. Yeah, there's 1 8 down here. Obviously that's there. Lots of possible places for 8 along here, even though that has ruled out that one. There's still 3 possibles. These 8s, oh, they're almost acting together on box 6. But that could be 8. No, can it? Yes, it can. 5, 6 or 7, then 8, then 9. Oh my goodness, how do we make progress? Maybe these unknown A's, which are likely to be 5. I just don't know what they rule in or rule out. I can't see how to use them. So now I'm just talking, trying to fill time. Pathetic. That could be 8. I wish I could rule 8 out of one of those or decide what that pair is. Come on, think about it, think about it. 7 could come before the 8. These could still be 4, 5, 6. If that was a 4, you'd have 5 and 6 here. That would be 3 and 7. That would put 3 here. Oh yes, look, 6 there, 6 there. One of these is a 6, not this one. Anything else like that? 2 there, 2 there. One of these is a 2. 3 there, 3 there. This is a 3, okay. Is that helping anything? One. So this is going to be, if that's 4, 5, 6, this is a 7. If it's 5, 6, 7, it can be 1, 2, or 4. Oh, come on. That's not quite as helpful as I was hoping. 2, 6, 3, 9. If that was 4, 5, this must go 7, 6, 5. That's 1, that's 4. 4, 5, 2, 9, 3, 6. That could be 7 and 8. Don't see why not. This is getting quite interesting. A 3 there and only one bigger number before the 9. Don't see how I can use that. This 4 is not helping me yet. That cell has to be bigger than those two, is the faintest of hints. Oh, I do find this very tough to do. Okay, this can't be 7, because that would have to be smaller and that would break the D clue above. So that's 3, 5, or 6. No, it's not 6, because 6 is in one of those. So that's down to 3 or 5. Now, if that was 5, these would have to go 7, 6. If that was 5, yes. Then 3 in the box would have to be here. You'd have 3, 5, 9 over there, and you'd have to fit 6, 7, and 8 in there. That's not happening. So that's a 3. As again, you know, I've done something and it gets me nothing, but there we go. That is the way of the world. Right, 5, 6, or 7 there, then one number bigger. Again, if that was 5, it's pretty tricky. You'd have the 6 that appears here. 7 and 8 would have to be squeezed in there. It can work. 5 must be in one of these 3 cells, because it's either a 4, 5, 6 or a 5, 6, 7 run. So that's not 5 or 6. I think I worked that out before. It can be any of 1, 2, 4, or 7. Useless. Right. Keep trying. Come on. Just feel these have got to... Oh, how could that be 5? In fact, how could it be anything... Oh yeah, it could. It could be anything as long as 8 was coming there, say. Oh, it can be 5. Right, that's not that helpful an approach. This is a 2. I think that's already fulfilled. 3 there. 3 there's a little interesting. Either that's 8, or 8 has to come before, after that, and before any other number bigger. That is possible. Now that 4 says that 8 can't be in those 3 cells. No, it doesn't. 8 could be there. It does not say that. Eight can't be there because... No, it can be there. It can't be there because of that 3, but it couldn't be in those anyway. It can't be there. Not helpful. Just not helpful. That can't be 8 because of this 4. That would only allow it to be 3. It also can't be here or here because it would make that not 2. So 8's not in those cells. And we've got that 8. So 8's in one of these, or one of those two. Actually, this is more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 8 can't be there either. So I've actually suddenly placed another 8 that I hadn't even been looking at. So 8, that stops that being 8. We get 8 here. Does that mean that this has to be 8, 7? Not quite. If that was 8 and this was 4, 5, 2, 1, 9, we'd have 7 here. That would be 5. You'd have 8, 4, 5, 7. 6, 5, that would become 7. It all seems possible. How maddening. Okay, 8 there. That or that must be 8 in box 9. That can't be because of that 3 clue, and we've got these couple of 8s pointing at it. 8 is in one of these just by regular Sudoku in box 6. Actually, not that one, because the 4 couldn't work. Ah, yes, okay, that's good. So that's not 8 because of where they're looking together. So that's 8. That can't be 8 because of the 4 clue. So 8 in row 9 is there. And now 8 is confined into those cells. They're not 4, 5, they're a 7, 8 pair. That can't be 7, so these must be ascending. So that's not 7 and that's not 5. That doesn't help resolve this one or this one. Oh, think, man. Right. That could be 8. Yes, the 3 is not high enough to stop it. So one of those is 8. I can't believe that there's any clue preventing that being possible at the moment. Oh no, I'm wrong. If one of these was 8, that would be 7, and this would be less, and that would become 4. So those are not 8. So that's not 8. Okay. This is the sort of thing that must come intuitively to some Sudoku and especially to puzzle solvers who regularly do skyscrapers, but to me it's like pulling teeth. So these are from 1, 4 and 5. 2, 2, no. Right, look at the clues. Maybe I'm going to have to adopt my plan of when I've actually used a clue fully. Ah, this can't be 1 because of that 3. And this can't be 7 for the same reason. It has to be less than this number. So the 7 in the box is now here. We've got a 1, 2, 4 triple. That's 5. This is not 5. That's not 7. So 7 has to be here. That gets our run of consecutives done. This is now 5. Okay, let's do the plan. Grey's already been used. Let's no, okay, I'm going to change grey to orange. Yeah, orange. Or that weird brown colour. And I'm going to grey out any skyscraper clues that I have definitely proved already. Yes, 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 yes. That one actually, yes, it's got to be 5, the 6 and the 9. That definitely. No, no. Yes, no. Yes. Gosh, there's a lot of these that are proved. Okay. Greying these out is going to be fun. That one's very clear. Ooh, I'll have a look at that in a moment. And that. Right. Grey to those. And there we go. Now, only the coloured clues are left to work on. Now, up here, we've got a 4 clue. And we're going to see 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, so we have to see 6 before 3. Okay, that's good. And that clue, a 4 clue, is actually resolved. Now, what about 1, 2, 4 up here? Well, they can't go in that order, or that couldn't be 9. Oh, and 2 has to be on there, so it's not here. So if that's a 4, it goes 2, 1, 4. If that's a 1, then it would have to go 2, 4, 9. So if it's a 4, it goes 1, 2. And if it's a 1, it goes 2, 4. So that's not a 4. And that's not a 1, I think. So we've got an unresolvable triple at the moment. Now suddenly look at this column. Don't know what that is, but then the viewer sees 6, 7, 8, and 9. So A, very unsurprisingly, is a 5. E is either 6 or 7. Don't know which yet. So that A clue has been done. Actually, this F clue, no, it is going to be done now though, because that's got to be the third thing it can see. That has to be a 2. That clue is done. And that now has to be a 1. Let me just check that 4, 2, 1 doesn't work. No, that would only see 2 skyscrapers. Oh, hang on, this doesn't work either. That had to be less than 3, and 2 doesn't seem to work, so I'm going to try 1 there. 2, 1, 4 does work. 4, 1, 2 doesn't. Right, sorry about that. I think, let's hope I'm still right, because I very nearly made a mistake there. Must have got confused in the numbers I was kind of seeing. Now this could only be a 4 if that was going to be 1 and 2 in those 2 cells. But that is possible. This 6. Okay, either it sees 8 before 7 along here, or that is a 7. That's interesting. At least 7, well, it can't be in that cell, but I mean, that's a little unremarkable. Oh, look at this. I've got a 3 or a 5 there. Yes, it's connected by crop key, so that's definitely 3. And I've got a 7. This is the only place for 7 because of this 5 clue. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so pay attention to your pencil marks. Mark. Now, a 4 clue here. This can't be 3, 6. But it could still be 4, 8. Or 2, 1. Or even 2, 4. I don't see why it can't be any of those possibilities. 8, 9, 5, 7, 3. What about this? This can't be 3, 6, and it hasn't got an 8. It must have a 2. Ah, this can't be 4. Or you'd see 4, 6, 7, 9. It can't be 6 because you'd only see 3. And 6 isn't on this. 6 is here in the column. This can't be a 4, so it's a 1 or a 2. So the 4 is on these 2, so that's 2 and 4. This is a 1. 1, 4, 6, 7, 9. Not 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. So they're resolved. That one's done. That's a decent starting number for a 5 clue. That's quite a low number for a 3 clue, but it just means that cell is higher than that one. But that can't be 6. It certainly can't be 7 now, so it's 3 or 5. This one is higher, so it's 5 or 6. So 7 in the box has to be here. This has to be 5 or 6 as well. 3 in the box has to be here. Okay, that's more progress. 5 or 6, 8, 9. Yep, that 3 is done. Just confirming that. I seem to have said that earlier. Now, this is now, it's on a crop key dot. 1, 4, or 8. 1 or 4 would make this 2, and 8 would make it 4. I can't seem to resolve that using this 4 clue. This 6 clue, oh, that's done effectively. 6 there, it'll see a 7 at some point, and then the 9, so I can't use that anymore. This 1 is now, that 3 clue is now done with 1, then 5 or 6, then 9. Lots of these clues used. Actually, this 5 is done because of the 7, 8, 9 position. Nothing done with that 4 clue. This 3 says that that is higher than that, which is not very useful at the moment. Ah, this is 6 or 7. Well, that means it can't begin higher than 1 or 2, can it? If that began with a 3, you wouldn't see the 2 and the 1, and you'd only get a maximum of 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, which is 5. So that must begin with a 1, because it can't be a 2 because of that. Right, let's keep going. Again, this must be the same. This can't be a 3, so it must be a 2. Now, this can be a 3, but it can't be a 5. If it was 6, 1, 2, 6, 7, 9 isn't enough. That's a 3. So we've got 5, 6, and 7 to place here. That's not a 5. That's not a 7. I'm sure if I could just see these relationships, I could fill this in, but that is not how my brain works. So if that was 5, then you'd have 6, 7, 9. That would give you a total of 7. Oh, that is possible, of course. Been assuming this would be 6. If that's 6, you get 6, 5, 7, which gives you a 6. If it's 7, you get 7, 5, 6, which is not enough. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. No, that can't be a 7. So now we've got a 5, 6 pair if I'm right. Yes, that can't be a 7. So 7 is here. And now we don't know which way round those go because we don't know whether E is 6 or 7. It'll be resolved by that. Okay, but at least more progress. 3 in column 1 has to be here. These other two are 4 and 5. Now, well, this clue is effectively done. I don't know what the answer is, but I've used the clue as much as I can. This one is done because 8 has to come before 7. Yep. This one is not done at all. And I don't know how to use it yet, bizarrely. That's done. This is saying that that is higher than whatever this is. So that can be 4, 5, or 6. 2, 4. That can be 5, 6, or 7. Not that helpful. But this 4, well, that's looking like it's going to see, yeah, it must see those two, then that, then that. Is that telling me anything useful? It tells me this can't be a 7. Okay, which puts the 7 in the box here. That is useful. 7 in one of those two as well. So that clue is done. Yes, it is. And it's correct. This one is done because that's higher than that. This one is done. Not a lot of clues left. Well, that's great. Then I'll be coming down to classic Sudoku and I will be happy with that. Right, this is a THERMO, remember. So 4 or 5 there, 5 or 6 here, 6 or 7 here. That's all it can be. Does this have to use a 4? No, it could be 1 and 2. Okay, but the 8 in the row, oh no, that could still be in one of those two. That's not resolved. Right, I've got this 3. That effectively does this 4. It doesn't matter how I resolve these now. They must prove that 4. 1 and 2 in the box must be in these cells. Oh, and that's very helpful because now I know where 7 is. It's here, not here. This is 4, 5, or 6. Now we've got a 5 clue here. So 1, 2, 3, obviously. It sees the 8, and then it must see something between 4, 5, and 6, and the 8 somewhere. Okay, that's not very helpful, but we've not got very many clues left. That one's actually done now. Yeah, 1 clue from each side left to resolve. And of course some regular Sudoku. So let's go back to there. 7 in the central box has to be here. 3 is in one of those two. Is there anything else looking into the center? Yes, we've done the 8. It's just got to be really careful now because this is where I can start going badly wrong. We haven't got a 2 in the bottom row. Fine, 2 is there. So this 4 is seeing that 2, that 5 or 6, then 8 in one of those cells, then 9. So nothing here can be higher than 6. 2, 7, 9 can't be higher than 6. No, it's from 1, 3, 4, and 5 then. That doesn't prove anything I wanted it to, but it does take the 2 out of that cell. So 2's in one of those. Okay, this 4. We've got crop key clues. Surely this is more helpful than I've been allowing. If that was 4, 5, this would have to be 3, 2, 1, 6, 8, which works. But the alternative is 3, 4, 8, which works, or 3, 2, 4, 1, 8, which also works. That every disposition of this is possible. I'm not going to grey out the 4, but I feel like it. Right, this 5, that's got to be helpful. 1, 2. It sees the 8. Can it see it there? Yes, if this got in between that 4, 5, 6 and this 8. 3, 9, 7, 8. And that can easily be 4, 5 or 6 itself. Oh, don't get stuck here. 8, 8, 1 and 4. There's probably something very clear that I'm missing, that I'm mousing over, that I'm just not seeing. Okay, that's not a 5. These are from 1, 3, 4. It's a triple. So that's not a 4. So now we've got a 5, 6 pair, and that is a 4. And that means this is 5 and 6. Okay, that's better. It doesn't even feel, I don't feel like I'm kicking myself too hard. That didn't feel very obvious. So 1, 4, 8 there. 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, 3, 1, 2 or 4 there. But still, all of these possibilities remain the same. No, that's become a 5 now because of the 6 above it. And that fixes both of these. There we go. That fixes these two. Bottom row, boxes 7 and 9 done. 5, 8, 6. That's 1, 2 or 4. So the 5 in the column is in one of those. That's not very helpful. That's not a 3 because there's a 3 in the column already. Ah, now there's a 1, 4 pair there. So that's 2 or 6. That's 2, 5 or 6. Now how does this work with the 3 clue? 3. This, oh yeah, it could be a 2. If that was 4 though, that's not going to work because one of these will be 5 or 6. So that's not a 4, that's a 1. 4 there and 1 there. That 4 fixes this as a 2. That can't be 8, that can't be 2. So we've got a 1, 4 pair. The 8 goes here. That puts 8 here, 5 here. Yep, these 1 and 4 are done. All of those end boxes. That 4, 3, 4, 8, 9. Yes, as I knew, that's done. This 3, still not done. It effectively is though. It doesn't matter which way round those go. That will be a 3 and it will be correct. 3, 4. Then we've got 1, 2, 5 and 6. And whichever one is, the 6 has to come before the 5. You can't have 5 here or 6 would be there. Okay, so that's a 2, 6 pair. Brilliant. 5, 6. That 1 above has resolved that. In fact, the 4, 3, 1 are all done. How's this 4 clue getting along? 2, 6, 8, 9. It's finished. How annoying, it doesn't help anymore. But this is now not a 1 or a 5. 3, 7, 9, 1, 8, 5. 2 or 6. 2, 4 or 6. Let's put in all the candidates now. Because, oh look, naked single right at the death. Naked single rides to the rescue. 5 there. By which I mean 3, 4, 8, 9 and 7 it can see in the row and 1, 6, 2 in the column. So it has to be a 5. This is 3 or 4, but it must be a 4. That's now effectively naked as well. So we're down to a deadly pair of 2s and 6s. Everything else can be resolved by Sudoku, and hopefully one of the remaining skyscraper clues, this one or this one, is going to resolve this. Not this one, I'm afraid. No, whichever way it goes. Oh, I don't know how I grade that one in the end. No, I've graded that as well, sorry. So Yeah, it's got to be this clue. 3, 4, 1. It mustn't see the 5 before the 6. So the 6 goes there. Fantastic. What a clever puzzle that is. Let's just finish off with a grey there. This one was a 7 in the end. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. I mean, that's sweating bullets. 45 minutes again, absolutely typical. I am so poor at skyscrapers in my own opinion. I mean, you know, I know I beat myself up too much. People have made that comment lately, and I probably do, but no deduction there was brilliant. They just all took me a long time to find. So well done if you did that quicker. Well done if you did it at all. I mean, it's not an easy puzzle. Let's be absolutely brutal about that. But it is a very nice puzzle, and thanks to Wessel. So very much hoping you enjoyed that. Hope to see you again soon, as always, on Cracking the Cryptic. It would be great to see you again soon. Do remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and bye for now.